Welcome all my future homeowners out there. If you're looking to buy new construction in an affordable neighborhood, then I invite you to come with me to Jarrell, Texas. This community we're about to see is called Cool Water at Sonterra. Now this builder is called Centex, and we're going to do a walkthrough of their model home. This floor plan that we're looking at is called Sandalwood, and it's 3 beds, 2.5 baths, a little over 2,000 square feet, has a 2-car garage, a study on the first floor, and a loft on the second floor. Now for my first time home buyers or my folks who have never bought new construction, I want you to get into that mindset of buying during the off season. So what does that mean? So throughout the year, as we approach the summertime, that's when most home buyers go home shopping. And when buyer activity picks up like that, these incentives either go away or there's just a lot less money to be had. And right now with these incentives, because buyer demand is relatively slow, they're probably some of the best I've seen. Now I'm looking at the inventory sheet and I'm looking at anywhere between $10,000 to $42,000 of instant savings with some of these floor plans. I'll give you an example. There's one floor plan that's 3 beds, 2 baths. It's originally was priced at $314,000, an incentive of $45,000. So take $45,000 away, and a final price of $269,000. Another home. This is a 4-bed, 3 bath that's listed at $356,000, and that has a $10,000 incentive. So we're looking at a final price of $346,220. Now, that's on top of some of the cash that the builder's going to give to help with the interest rate. Right now, they're offering some cash to help buy down the interest rate to 5.75%. That's a permanent fixed rate throughout the life of the loan. Now, a big caveat to this is you have to get pre-qualified and pre-approved with their lender and meet the lender's requirements. But if hands down, if you're trying to look for the best deals, new construction is where it's at. Oftentimes, a lot of these builders will have their own lender that they work with, and because they have their own lender, they have a lot more flexibility when it comes to the financing. So that's how they're able to offer some of these almost incredible incentives to help with the interest rates. I've seen it help with the closing costs. I've seen it help with the home upgrades. It just depends on what your specific needs are. If you've already been pre-qualified and pre-approved already, then I invite you to get a second loan estimate with the builder to see hey, can your lender match what their lender is giving you as far as not just the terms, but the incentives as well? Chances are they probably won't be able to match the incentive parts, at least because builders just have that flexibility and just more deeper pockets, I guess you could say. But another great question I get asked from my buyers is, buying this area a good investment? Am I going to see a good ROI in the future? Because we're talking real estate at the end of the day. Now, I ran some numbers for the city of Jarrell, and I went as far back as 2018. The median price of a home in 2018 was $235,000. Fast forward to 2023, and we're looking at the median price of a home at $377,500. That's a home appreciation year over year of 7.83%. So not too shabby. But big disclaimer here, past results does not equal anything in the future. Those are just some numbers to keep in mind as you're looking at this area. And I'll tell you from firsthand experience, as I was driving around the neighborhood, driving around Jarrell, just to get a feel okay, what construction's happening, not just on the residential side, but on the commercial side, there is a ton of construction happening. And more on the residential side than the commercial, but with what this community has in store for how much many more homes are going to build out, that's only going to invite more commercial property and developers to come build in Jarrell. Typically how it works, big developers that work on the commercial side, think of if you're going to have an HEB, a Costco, in order for them to even consider building out here, they have to there has to be a count of so many single family homes built before they can even consider it. Now, they're well on their way, but Jarrell is not too far off from Georgetown or Round Rock, Texas. So I know probably a big kind of gripe would be Jarrell is way out there. It's on the outskirts of Williamson County. And I get that. but you're not too far off from Georgetown and Round Rock, where there's plenty of stuff to do. Georgetown has its own Costco. Round Rock has the outlet malls. I mean, there are things to do within a 20-30 minute radius, so it's not too bad. And remember, this area is up and coming. That's why the price point here is so attractive. I mean, it's starting in the low 200s and up from there. But what they currently have available, I'm looking at their inventory sheet, is it's really starting in the high 200s of what they have available move-in ready today. So at the end of the day, we won't know the numbers until you give me a call. Let's schedule a virtual consultation, because that's usually the quickest and fastest way for us to get some face-to-face time. And that way we can go over your criteria. We can go over where you're at on your journey to see where I can be of most value. And then we can go check out and tour some of these new builds, right? It's always advantageous to have a realtor with you, because at the end of the day, I'm representing you and having your best interests in mind. The builder and the salespeople are working for the builder, and they're great people to work with. But at the end of the day, they are representing the builder's best interests. Now, once we do our consultation, we'll go over what the next steps could be. But the biggest thing after that call is to show our intent with whatever builder we end up going with, because these incentives will not last, especially once more and more people start hearing about how much some of these builders are offering. These loans get depleted, and once they're depleted, it's up to the builder's discretion whether they might come back and when they will do that. And so your window of opportunity is now, or sooner rather than later, especially before we get into the summer months, because as soon as buyer activity picks up, and it will during the summer, that's when these incentives will slowly start going away. Now, if you like all things new construction, I have a big part of my channel where I'm covering all the new builds, keeping up with all the master plan communities, because in the Austin area, new construction is by far such a huge part of our inventory. That's where you're going to probably score the most best deals, because the builders have these incentives, right? So it's really, if what's preventing you from getting into the real estate game is the interest rates or just the cash to get into, like for the down payment or the closing costs, these builders are willing to help you, especially during the slower months like right now in February, probably a little bit into March. And as we slowly approach the summertime, buyer activity is going to pick up again until we get to the fall, and then it's going to come back down again. So your window of opportunity is sooner rather than later. Again, I'll have my link in the description to contact me to schedule a consultation. That way we can come up with the next couple steps. Okay, my name is Omar Pineda, your realtor here in the Austin area with eXp Realty. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.